Candace's ears, you can see that her right ear tip points to the side of the screen, but her left ear tip points down. So you can see straight away that actually her ear position is unlevel. And obviously that's not uncommon. Nothing in nature is symmetrical. But another link that I started to discover was dogs that have habitually different ears are often unbalanced or have restricted movement, normally in the hindquarter, and that restricted movement in the hindquarter is changing how the dog uses his neck in terms of balance, and it might be that that's starting to change the position and set of the ear. Also need to look at the neck as well and what's going on through the forequarters, because everything is connected. But a dog has 18 muscles in each ear, around 18 muscles. So if one ear is tighter, you might notice as well that the dog doesn't really use that ear to listen, regardless of the direction of the sound. And when you start to look at your dog's ears, you might then start noticing that actually the eyes are unlevel. And again, remember, nothing in nature is symmetrical. You're going to find imbalance in every dog to a degree. But if you also look at her neck, you can see she's got more muscle development on the left side of her neck, which could be due to the way she's sitting and organizing her body. But it might also be linked to the reason why she can only sit on one hip, maybe, or why she has to twist her body and maybe only lie on one side and not actually be able to lie on both the left side and the right side of her body when she's at rest. So we're starting to look for clues and see, is this actually just a moment the camera's caught in time, or is this a specific pattern? And then if you look at her tongue, you can see that she has more tongue on the left side of her mouth, and the canine tooth, this little sticky up bump you can see under the tongue, has also got more tongue over it on the left side rather than the right. So that's how we start sort of building this profile when we're on the dog detective trail. And if you look at this lovely, amazing picture of Vixen, you can see her left ear is much higher than her right ear. So if I see a dog whose ear position is like this the majority of the time, I would absolutely encourage that guardian to do to have a thorough vet check, because in my experience it often is linked to restricted movement, quite often through the hindquarters. And you can also start to see as well where the hair patterns will change around ears. Maybe one ear hangs more to the side if you've got a dog with longer ear flaps, but maybe the hair on one side of the head sticks up more around that base of the ear. So again, starting to look for more and more detail and how it might affect how loose or tight a dog is through all the other structures in the head. There's over 100 muscles in the dog's head. So again, there's a lot of tension that we might see in the head that we might not have recognized is actually linked to tension in other parts of the body. And then, of course, looking through the rest of the dog's body, start to see how does that dog organize his body when he's standing, what's the paw placement, but also what's going on with the coat. And if you look at this picture of the collie, if you can see that picture, you can see there's a complete square of hair over the middle of the back. And Maria Johnston's amazing veterinary physio has been teaching anatomy and physiology at Tilley Farm since 2013. And Maria certainly added more layers to my learning. And that square is over a really important part of the dog's spine, the T13L1 junction. And lots of dogs overwork that area, again, because of restricted movement through the hindquarters. So we're looking all the time for all these clues, piecing it together, getting the right teams involved to help restore as efficient movement as is possible for that dog.